Welcome back, everyone, to Hearts of Iron 4, A Road to Republic, Communist China, and now we are about to begin war. You may have noticed I skipped up a bit because I was essentially getting a few more things ready. I've set up a few divisions around Nanjing and Shanghai so that once the war starts I can attack the reformed government and take them over really quickly. So without further ado, we will join the Comintern. And now that they have accepted, we can join their war. Now, unfortunately, very unfortunately, the territories that we will be running into will be given over to the Qing. Not the ones that are currently under the control of the Japanese or will you please give me... Why does it not give me these divisions? Okay, finally. And then you. I'm getting everyone ready. Yeah, it seems like we'll be going smoothly. And then we'll take Nanjing. And hopefully Shanghai too. Yeah, should be better this way. Good. And yeah, at least not these territories that are controlled by Mengukuo and the provisional government in China over here in Shandong, but these areas that were occupied by Japan will be handed over to the Qing Empire, unfortunately. And well, the reason that we are gonna go in and actually take them is because there's gonna be a Japanese civil war if we take the areas. And so the Japanese civil war should hopefully distract Japan by quite a bit and allow our troops and other fronts to prevail and help out the Soviets actually to take all this land. In the meantime, we'll go on further and try to micromanage our armies a little bit more because we don't want anything too weird happening. Like our fronts overlapping and, you know, stuff that is going to happen, unfortunately. Then over here we need to be a little bit more active with what we're actually doing because we want to go in and take Beijing as soon as possible. We'll also try to take Jambay. And then these ports in the east. Of course, over here there are two enemy divisions, one cavalry division and one infantry division. Should not be too hard to take them out, as has been the case. And now that we are in the war, everyone wants our military access and non-aggression pact. We will agree to everything because, well, there's no reason not to. And now we've taken Shanghai as well. Unfortunately, they are sitting on a port as well, so the reformed government has capitulated. Oh, which has in fact taken out that division. And then we will assign everyone over to the defense of Shanghai as well, and then to the defense of Qingdao and Shandong in general. Oh, and I guess I can add this one too, Tianjin, because these territories will stay as our territories. And so we want them to be well defended. We also don't want our army splitting up in any stupid way, so we will reorganize that very quickly. The one guy that's still part of that army will finish taking these territories and making sure that none of them are spared. And then this part of the army will try to capitulate Mengukuo. We just need to take Chahar. And there goes also the provisional government, which was based in Beijing. And now that we have Beijing, we can produce even more. We unfortunately kind of need more steel. Yeah, we kind of need a lot more steel, so we're gonna try to get that from the Soviets, which is gonna be a lot of civilian factories, unfortunately. Now, the good thing is, despite the fact that it's going to give the territories over to the Qing, the more fighting that we do, the more our war participation will go up, which means that when the peace event actually happens, we're going to have a bit of a better bargaining position in general. We're going to stop this plan because it's not going very well. So we're going to reposition a few of our men in the area. And also we're going to stop the plans in Mongolia. Yeah. And now we get the event a Chinese capital because we've taken Beijing. And as you can see, this is being given over to the Qing. And that's not very good, but we're just going to have to deal with it. With the end of the Chinese Civil War, it is time for us to consolidate power in China and show the people that we are the modern incarnation of the Middle Kingdom. We are the state that will guide them into the future. To this end, we should have a capital befitting our great state. So we can either govern from the northern capital, Beijing, and the southern capital, Nanjing. However, ask yourself why those two have the same ending. That's because that means tech capital. Yeah, trivia. And then there is no need to move the seat of government, which would keep our capital in Yan'an. But I don't really want to keep my capital in Yan'an. I want to have it at Beijing. So we're going to change our capital, and because we have chosen our capital, we can now go to found our nation, which is going to obviously be very good, and which is also the reason why I did not take the Dare to Die core, which I could have done had I, because we were at war again, had I decided to instantly take it, I could have taken it, but I wanted to be quicker in founding our nation, so there we go. Which is going to remove the guerrilla warfare national economy law, which is really, really annoying because it basically means that we can't do anything without can't do anything with declarations of war and such. That's not very fun. We like to declare war. We'll also continue to advance in Mongolia. And there goes the capitulation of Menguquo. Our coastal army should be expanded soon enough with the addition of more divisions. Which is good also because we need more troops defending these areas. The Japanese don't appear to have that many troops ready to amphibiously assault us because they have a lot of divisions, sure, but the main thing is they really, really lack the positioning, essentially, because all their troops are in the midst of Siberia, getting essentially their supplies all destroyed by the harsh Siberian environment, as it may. In the meantime, we're just letting our army move on forward, trundle on forward with the automatic attacks. We don't have the DLC, so no spearhead command is available to us, which is unfortunate, but I guess it's fine. Don't really need the spearhead command. Our divisions are not quite as good as the Japanese ones. As you can see, even some weaker ones that Japan have, this is about half the strength of a good Japanese division. They're still able to easily destroy our divisions because they're only infantry. But at the same time, our divisions are not quite as bad as they used to be during the Sino-Japanese War, so we're at least able to use those in a little bit of a more aggressive manner. We don't have to essentially hold up in the mountains all the time. And we've also got the chance to regroup with the Soviets. Over here, unfortunately, it gives the provinces over to Xinjiang, and we can actually surround 2 Japanese divisions, 1 Marine and 1 Infantry. There goes defining our nation. With our capital decided, we can hold an assembly to announce that we are finally found our nation and being a guerrilla movement no more. So that changes our law to war economy, and it changes our law from mobilization from political mobilization, I believe it was, to service by requirement, which is a little bit better, but it's not that good, so we'll change it again because that minus 10% factory output is not that nice. But it also gives us a research slot and changes our country name to the People's Republic of China, so that's great for us. And now we can take quite a few different national focuses in the right side of the tree, and we could take land reform for some more political power, and then moving on to the cult of personality for Mao Zedong, and then getting also more political power gain. But these take a long time because there's the 100 Flowers campaign and the Great Leap Forward, which is going to be a very long-term thing, and we also need to be at peace for that. So at least for now, we're not going to be able to actually do that. And so perhaps it would be better to get the new communism weekend first, and then getting institution reorganization and eliminating illiteracy. These two probably are going to be much better for us in the long term. Now we also have a second research slot, finally. We're going to take improved infantry equipment 1 because we want to be able to produce some better infantry equipment. And then we're also going to go and modify our government a little bit. We're going to take... yeah, we're going to take extensive conscription, and then we can't take anyone else, but soon enough we will be able to. Hopefully. And then we are going to plan also the attack into Korea, which should happen pretty smoothly considering the enemy doesn't have a lot of men in the area. Then we can also do some maneuvering up here, trying to surround a few Japanese divisions. Almost. They're trying to break out with this division, but we're going to stop them. Then we're also going to do a diversionary attack so that they can't send in reinforcements. And then we're going to try to hold the area. Which might just work, despite the fact that they're redeploying troops to assist. We're just going to be trying to seal this gap. And if we can do that, then yeah, we're going to have a very nice way to hold ourselves. We really need to send reinforcements to this combat though. The 8th Division is having some problems, and I would really like to take out those Japanese divisions, so it would be really nice if we could actually do something about it. In the meantime, I guess we can just continue advancing in Manchuria. And they're gonna break the 8th Division, unfortunately. Yep, and come in and reinforce just at the last possible second. But we also have the opportunity for another encirclement that's possibly a little bit better. Then we can also try to advance towards the capital of Mongolia, Ulaanbaatar. Not really sure how you pronounce it, so not really gonna try. The Japanese over here in the Gobi Desert, which is, I'm guessing, this area. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Are kind of starving to death, and now we really need to take them out so that we can free up these divisions that are sort of holding them captive for some more use somewhere else down the line. And we're gonna assign more troops to the coastal army. More divisions might be coming out soon enough, but right, there's a bug. For some reason, I can't deploy my troops anywhere out of Beijing, so whatever. Oh, and also we can actually build some more industry around. We're going to build dockyards in the coastline, because we're going to need to build a navy eventually, and then we're going to build a mix in the central parts of the country. Thanks to us getting the concentrated industry tax, we're going to be able to massively improve our production capacity soon enough. So that would be very nice. We're also starting to liberate Korea, which is pretty good. These divisions up here that were assigned to the north can move up to the Yakutsk area. Yakutia over here. And then we have also managed to surround another Japanese division in a pocket in central Korea. We're going to make sure to take Busan so that the Japanese can't send in reinforcements to Korea. Just in case they wanted to do that. Hopefully they won't, but you can never know. And since this is not technically my territory, I don't really care about defending it. If the Japanese actually do make some naval landings in these areas, I really don't care. I really don't care. As long as they're empty and I can use them to sort of improve my war score, then that's pretty good. But if they actually require defending, then, well, I don't really care all that much. Now that we have vanquished all the Japanese in Korea, oh, that's actually given it to the Soviets as an occupation. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like they'd be willing to give it to me. And there's a... oh. What? I thought there was a bit of lag. Apparently Korea got liberated and they're neutral, which is strange. I somehow don't think Japan would let them be neutral. I'm gonna boost my party popularity though, because there's a bit of a split going on, and so I can influence them in the correct path, I guess. That's also kind of decent because it allows us to not really care about what's happening with Korea. They're just gonna be neutral and not be attacked by the Japanese in any way. So yeah, that's pretty good because I didn't want to worry about them anyway. And I really want to know why it's just so stupid. This is a bit of a jumbled mess of a plan, so let's make a new one that's kind of understandable. Yeah, this should work. And then we're gonna take out these Japanese. And these divisions are gonna get assigned to this plan. No, 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 no. Yes, this way. I'm also not sure where you are, but you're pushing towards here, which is good. And apparently you can push really easily, so... And there's the Japanese Civil War. We have peaced out with Menguko, so we're gonna just take them over really quickly. And there's that. They're at least ours, and that's the peace with the reform government. Obviously their overlord is dead, so we've gotten a separate peace with them. Taking Nanjing too. And I'm pretty sure that Beijing is already owned by us because we have had that event that put our capital over here. So yeah, at least part of our war is done with. The part that's essentially about fighting other Chinese. So at least we have that dealt with. That ghastly proposition. Now we can get the institutional reorganization, which is gonna improve our research slots. Very good. And then what's really gonna be awesome is the eliminating illiteracy, which hopefully is going to reduce gradually our lack of skilled personnel modifier, this one, which is basically what's preventing us from getting any... Oh, hi there. I guess you got liberated, so we're gonna justify on you. We can't actually get to Taiwan though because we don't have any transport tech. We can go to our naval tab down here. You can see that we don't have any transport tech, and it would take 450 days to research transport ship. So no, unfortunately we can't actually get that yet. Soon enough, hopefully. You are not in a plan, so let's rectify that mistake. And this should be increasing our war participation by quite a bit. There's a bit of... Okay. What? Why did he give these territories over? Well, hey, one good thing about me justifying is, I guess, this one. I'm certainly happy I'm justifying a war goal, because I'm really not sure what just happened there and why these territories got handed over. But I guess we're gonna take them back. Yeah. And looks like the Chinese or Japanese Civil War might go in the favor of democratic Japan. The troop count seems to be about equal, but the democratic government has all their troops probably on the main islands, whereas all the other Japanese troops are probably off in Siberia, so not being very useful in general. We can also try to surround them in Vladivostok down here. We're also gonna decrease the aggressiveness that our troops are displaying because the Japanese seem to have started to bring in reinforcements to these areas. We've also managed to make a very good push over here in these areas in central Mongolia. And then we can also just take these areas, despite the fact that we don't really have a lot of supplies, so that's not good. But there's no Japanese over here, so... Wait, what? Unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone here finished this combat. So let's rectify that mistake. We're gonna have our justification in just a little bit, hopefully. Now the siege of Vladivostok begins. Hopefully we'll be able to take out the Japanese before they are able to bring in a lot of reinforcements. And there's a bit of a lag. Unfortunate. We're also getting a few more trained troops ready, which should help us against Nationalist China, who has sent in a few of their divisions. So let's bring in you and you on over to help with the attack. And now that you are a little bit weaker, you should probably stop? I don't know, actually. The Japanese don't have a lot in these areas, so we can pretty easily... Oh, we can also take some of you out because you're out of supplies anyway. And then have some of you form a secondary army. It's gonna take out this little enclave. So you're gonna finish Mongolia soon enough, hopefully, despite your lack of supplies. And there's our justification to take Taiwan. And we're gonna declare war. Oh, that's a problem. They joined the Axis. Okay. Well, I didn't want that to happen, but I guess it did happen. And now we're gonna have to deal with it, which means that essentially we're never gonna be able to end the war with Nationalist China as well, because Germany's in the war. And nobody likes Germany being in the war. Nobody likes it. Okay, so we've gotten our first advances in, and, well, it seems like so far it's pretty easy to surround the nationalist troops, who clearly haven't had much time to prepare for our offensive. So our goal right now is going to be to quickly surround a few of their forces and then move towards the capitals of these territories, namely Jinan and Qingdao. That's the first surround. And then we're also going to eliminate illiteracy, hopefully. Something which, in real life, the Maoist government was not too bad at doing, despite their incredible failures in almost everything else. They did manage to eliminate the illiteracy that was a kind of a plague for China for a long time. In fact, the illiteracy in China before the Maoist era was probably even worse than the one in Europe at the beginning of the century. So, very, very big problem for any state. And the French Commune wants to send us some expeditionary forces, but we're gonna decline because who knows where those expeditionary forces actually are. So at least for now, we're not gonna get ourselves busy with that. Essentially babysitting the divisions of our allies. So the nationalist troops that are now caught in pockets will be destroyed mercilessly, and hopefully that will be the end of that nonsense with the territories changing hands. Then you're gonna be given over to Mao Zedong to command, and you're gonna become garrisons. Our army in Siberia is doing fairly decently. They're still advancing against the Japanese forces, but without all that much zeal. Possibly because of the horrible terrain, and possibly because of the fact that, well, there's really not much up there. We're gonna get them some reinforcements though. Namely, the army under Chen Yi is gonna be redeployed over to the northeast. Because over here in Mongolia, they just didn't have any supplies because the Soviets flooded the area with troops, which is okay, I guess. Then you're gonna be given the order to move into this part of the German-occupied Mongolia. I never thought I'd say that word. And you're also going to have it a little bit differently. You're just gonna take everything. If we can do a little bit of micromanagement, I guess we're just gonna do it. Because we don't really have anything else to do for now. We're gonna go for the ports in some of these areas. The Soviets, weirdly enough, control Sakhalin, despite the fact that they control almost nothing else in the area. It looks like the democratic forces won the civil war, taking Tokyo.